In last class we have seen about the stage velocity triangle. Okay. In this session we will be seeing about the stage work and stage pressure coefficient. Okay. These are the velocity triangles which we have seen in the last class. Okay. That is the flow through the inducer section without inlet guide vane, with inlet guide vane, and this is the entry and exit velocity for the impeller blade only in the radial section. Backwards shift blade with beta less than 90 degree, and here beta is equal to 90 degree. This diagram is being used in this for derivation of these equations. Therefore, I have used this diagram. Now we can move on to the stage work. In a centrifugal compressor, the peripheral velocity at the impeller entry and exit are U1 and U2. We know that the peripheral velocity at the entry and exit is U1 and U2. Therefore, the specific work or the energy transfer is, therefore, the specific work or energy transfer is given by an equation. We know that W is equal to U2 C theta 2 minus U1 C theta 1. Okay, this equation we have seen a lot of times, and let this equation number be 12. Okay, let this equation number be 12. That is, work, specific work or the energy transfer is equal to U2 C theta 2 minus U1 C theta 1. If C theta 1 is positive, if C theta 1 is positive, from the figure 5, see here the C theta 1 is positive, and in this equation 2, that is the diagram 6, you can see C theta 1 is positive. Okay, and here too C theta 1 is positive, that is it is having certain value, a positive value. Therefore, if C theta 1 is positive, the term U1 C theta 1 is subtractive. Okay, therefore the work and pressure rise in the stage are relatively lower. That is, if you have C theta 1 as a positive value, the pressure rise in the stage are relatively lower. Okay, we have seen this in fans and blower too. That is, if you have the value of C theta 1 as a positive, then there will be a pressure rise in the stage will be comparatively low. Okay, these quantities are increased by reducing C theta 1 to 0. That is, this pressure rise, the work and pressure rise, therefore can be increased only when C theta 1 tends to 0. That is from the figure 4. That is, in this case, the value of C theta 1 is considered to be as 0. Therefore, if this is the case, that is, if C theta 1 is equal to 0, then there will be an increase in work and pressure. Okay, that is, these quantities are increased. These quantities means the work and pressure rise in the stages are increased by reducing C theta 1 to 0, or making it as negative, There is only two ways in order to make the work and pressure to get rise in the stage, that is by making C theta 1 is equal to 0 or C theta 1 as a negative value. Okay, that is being stated in this statement. That is, if C theta 1 is positive, the term U1 and C theta 1 is subtractive. Therefore, the work and pressure in the stages are relatively lower. If C theta 1 is positive, the work and pressure rise in the stage will be relatively lower. These quantities are increased by reducing C theta 1 to 0. That is, the work and pressure in the stages can be increased by making C theta 1 as 0 or making it as a negative value. Okay. Therefore, in the absence of inlet guide vane, C theta 1 is equal to 0. Okay. In the absence of, that is, the flow through the inducer section without inlet guide vane. That is, in this velocity triangle or in this figure, you can see there is no inlet guide vane. If there is no inlet guide vane, C theta 1 will be equal to 0. In the absence of inlet guide vane, C theta 1 is equal to 0. This condition will be assumed throughout the concept of centrifugal compressor stage. That is, we will be considering this as a case throughout the entire concept of centrifugal compressor stage. That is, we are considering inlet guide vane as absent and therefore C theta 1 is equal to 0. We will be considering this statement, that is C theta 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, this equation 12, that is therefore the equation 12 gives, that is W is equal to U2 C theta 2 minus U1 C theta 1 gives us an equation which is W is equal to U2 C theta 2, and consider this equation as equation number 13. Since in this equation, if you substitute C theta 1 is equal to 0, this will get nullified and you will be getting W is equal to U2 C theta 2. Okay. Now from the equation 7, okay, from the equation 7 which we have derived in the last class, that is the equation 7 is C theta 2 is equal to C2 cos alpha 2, which is equal to CR2 cot alpha 2, which will be equal to U2 minus CR2 cot beta 2. Okay, this is the equation number 7. Okay, this is the equation number 7, and from this equation you can write the value of C theta 2. That is, you have the value of C theta 2, and this C theta 2 is replaced by this equation. Okay, therefore by substituting the value of C theta 2 from this equation, you will be getting W is equal to U2, and instead of C theta 2 you are substituting the value of U2 minus CR2 cot beta 2. Okay, you are substituting this equation, that is this C theta 2 is equal to U2 minus CR2 cot beta 2. We are substituting this equation here, and therefore the specific work will be equal to U2 into U2 minus CR2 cot beta 2. Okay. The flow coefficient at the impeller axis is defined as the flow coefficient. We know the flow coefficient is given by the equation 5. 2 is equal to CR2 divided by U2. Okay, the flow coefficient at the impeller is given by an equation phi2 is equal to CR2 divided by U2. Consider this equation as equation number 14. Therefore, the value of W is equal to, if you take U2 common, you will be getting U2 square into 1 minus CR2 divided by U2 cot beta 2. And if you replace this value by the flow coefficient, you will be getting the specific work will be equal to U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient into cot beta 2, and consider this as an equation number 15. Okay, therefore you will be getting W is equal to U2 square into 1 minus phi 2 cot beta 2. Okay, if the flow coefficient and beta 2 are the actual values, that is the flow coefficient and the beta 2 are the actual values, the work given in the equation 15, this is the equation 15, and if this and beta 2, if the flow coefficient and beta 2 are the actual values in this equation, the work in the equation 15 is the actual work in the stage. If the value of phi 2 and beta 2 is considered to be as an actual value, then the work which is obtained from the equation 15 is also considered to be the actual work which is happening in the stage. The work is also given by the following form of Euler's equation, and it is being defined as W is equal to 1 by 2 into C2 square minus C1 square plus 1 by 2 into W1 square minus W2 square plus 1 by 2 U2 square minus U1 square. This we have derived in the Euler's equation, and we have also extensively used this equation for solving problems in the centrifugal fans and blowers. Okay, and consider this equation as 16. That is W is equal to 1 by 2, the difference in absolute velocity, the difference in the relative velocity, and 1 by 2 times the difference in the peripheral velocity. Okay. Now, if you consider cot beta is equal to 90 degree. Okay, if you consider beta is equal to 90 degree, if we consider beta 2 is equal to 90 degree, then the value of cot beta 2 will be equal to 0. The value of cot beta 2 will be equal to 0. That is, if we consider beta 2 is equal to 90 degree, then cot beta 2 will be equal to 0, since cot 90 degree is equal to 0. Since cot 90 degree is equal to 0, then this equation, that is the equation number 15, will become, or it will be reduced to a form of W is equal to, or reduced in the form of W is equal to U2 square. Okay, W is equal to U2 square. That is, if you substitute the value of cot beta 2 in this equation, if you substitute cot beta 2 is equal to 90 degree, then this will become 0. This entire equation will become 0. Therefore, you will be getting W is equal to U2 square. W will be equal to U2 square. That is, for the radial tipped impeller with 0 vril at the entry, 0 vril at the entry means C theta 1 is equal to 0, and alpha 1 is equal to 90 degree and beta 1 is equal to 90 degree. The equation 13 and 15 is being reduced to a form of W is equal to U2 square. That is, if this is 90 degree, if beta 2 is 90 degree, the entire equation of 15 will become as W is equal to U2 square. Okay, this is the stage work which is done in the centrifugal compressor. This is the stage work in the centrifugal compressor when there is a 0 vril at the entry and alpha 1 is considered as 90 degree and beta 1 is also considered as 90 degree and beta 2 is also considered as 90 degree. Okay, we will be getting W is equal to U2 square. Okay. யாருக்கா டவுட் இருக்கா? தர்ஷன் கேக்குதுங்களா?
கேக்குது சார்.
ஓகே. The next concept is the stage pressure coefficient. Okay, we will be seeing the stage pressure coefficient of a centrifugal compressor. The head and pressure or the loading coefficient is defined by an equation psi is equal to W divided by U2 square, and consider this as an equation number 18. Okay, the head or the pressure or the loading coefficient is defined by an equation psi is equal to W divided by U2 square. This gives in a dimensionless form a measure of pressure rising capacity of various type of centrifugal compressor impeller of different size running at different speed. That is, this equation gives a dimensionless form a measure of pressure rising capacity of various type of centrifugal compressors impellers of different size running at different speed. Therefore, the equation 13 and 15, therefore, the equation 13 and 15 gives, the equation 13 is this equation, okay, this is the equation number 13 and this is the equation number 15, and from this two equation consider as equation 13 is W is equal to U2 C theta 2 and equation 15 is W is equal to U2 square into 1 minus 5 cot beta 2. Okay, this is the equation number 13 and this is equation number 15. Okay, and from this two equation you can get a value of pressure coefficient as psi is equal to, if you substitute equation number 13, you will be getting U2 C theta 2 divided by U2 square, and you will be getting C theta 2 divided by U2. Consider this as an equation number 19a. Okay, consider this as an equation number 19a. If you substitute equation 13 in this equation, okay, if you substitute equation 13 in equation 18, you will be getting C theta 2 divided by U2. And again, if you substitute the equation number 15 in the equation number 18, you will be getting the pressure coefficient as U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2 divided by U2 square divided by U2 square. The equation number 15 is this equation, and if you substitute the value of W as this in this equation, you will be getting U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2 divided by U2 square. And on simplification, you will be getting an equation as 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. Okay, now consider this equation as equation 19b. Consider this equation as 19b. This expression gives the theoretical performance characteristics of the impeller of different geometry. That is, this equation 19a and 19b gives the theoretical performance characteristics of the impeller of different geometry. If the impeller is of different geometry, you can get the theoretical performance characteristics by using these equations. Okay. It may be noted that the equation 19b has been derived assuming zero entry frill or will component and no slip. That is, we know that this equation 19b, we have considered C theta 1 is equal to 0. That is, throughout the concept of centrifugal stage compressor, we will be considering C theta 1 is equal to 0 Therefore, we have derived this equation 2. That is, this equation, the equation number 15 is being derived by considering c theta 1 is equal to 0. Okay, that is what being mentioned here. It may be noted that the equation 19b has been derived assuming zero entry, frill and no slip. The figure 9, that is, this is the figure 9, and this figure denotes the performance characteristics of different type of centrifugal impeller. That is, the performance characteristic of different type of centrifugal compressor, and you can see x-axis is the flow coefficient and y-axis is the pressure coefficient, and these are the coordinates of this graph. And you can see this is the radial blade, this is the forward blade, and this is the backward blade. For a radial blade, beta 2 is considered to be as 90 degree, and for forward blade, beta 2 is greater than 90 degree, and for backward blade, beta 2 is considered to be as less than 90 degree. And with the variation of the pressure coefficient, you can see the pressure coefficient is being reduced in case of backward blade when the flow coefficient increases, and in case of forward blade the pressure coefficient increases with the increase in the flow coefficient. Okay, and in case of radial it remains constant. Okay, this graph depicts that the parameters of flow coefficient with respect to the pressure coefficient. Okay, shows the, therefore the figure 9 shows the plot 5 minus, that is flow coefficient minus flow coefficient. The figure 9 shows the plot of flow coefficient to the pressure coefficient for forward blade, radial blade and backward blade impeller blades. Okay, the actual characteristics will be obtained by accounting for stage loss. The actual characteristics will be obtained by accounting for a stage loss. Okay, that is, the figure 9 shows the plot of flow coefficient and the pressure coefficient for forward swept, radial and backward swept impeller blades. That is, this is the radial blade, this is the forward swept blade, and this is the backward swept blade, and this diagram shows the plot of pressure coefficient and the flow coefficient of these corresponding blades. The actual characteristics obtained will be obtained by accounting for the stage loss. This actual parameters has been obtained by accounting the stage loss. The backward swept and the radial blade impeller gives stable characteristics. That is, the backward and radial will give a stable characteristics. The forward swept blade gives unstable flow condition on the account of rising characteristics. Okay, if the flow coefficient keep on rising, the radial blade and backward blade will give a stable characteristics, whereas the forward blade will not give a stable characteristic. There will be an unstable condition which is being occurred in the forward swept blade. Okay, therefore the equation 19 for a radial tip blade will be, that is, this is the equation 19. This is the equation 19, and if you consider for a radial tip blade, and for a radial tip blade, you know that beta 2 is equal to 90 degree. For a radial tip blade, beta 2 will be equal to 90 degree. Therefore, you know that from the equation 19 is the pressure coefficient is equal to 1 minus I2 into cot beta 2. And if you substitute the value of beta 2 is equal to 90 degree, cot 90 is equal to 0. Therefore, you will be getting an equation as pressure coefficient is equal to 1. Okay, you will be getting an equation as pressure coefficient is equal to 1, and you can also see that in the graph as pressure coefficient is equal to 1 for a radial blade, where beta 2 is considered to be as 90 degree. Okay, this is about the stage pressure coefficient of a centrifugal compressor. Okay, you have any doubt? Do you have any doubt in the stage pressure coefficient? Stage pressure coefficient யாருக்கு doubt இருக்குங்களா? Kumaresh. Logesha.
Sir.
Can I doubt irukingla?
Sir, no sir.
எதுவும் இல்லைங்களா?
No.
லோகேஷ் உங்களுக்கு?
சார்.
Can I doubt இருக்குங்களாப்பா?
இல்ல சார்.
Okay. This is about the stage pressure coefficient. Now we can move on to an equation, or we can move on to a topic of stage pressure rise. Okay, we can move to another topic called as stage pressure rise. Okay. Stage pressure rise of a centrifugal compressor. The static pressure rise in a centrifugal compressor stage occurs in the impeller, diffuser and the volume. Okay, the static pressure which is being raised in the centrifugal compressor will occur only in impeller, diffuser and the volume casing. Okay, the transfer of energy by the impeller, takes place along with the energy transformation process. Okay, that is, the transfer of energy which is taking place in the impeller will take place along the energy transformation process. That is, when energy is being transformed in the compressor, the impeller energy transfer also occurs simultaneously with the energy transformation process. The pressure rise across the impeller is due to both the diffusion of the relative velocity vector W1 to W2 and the change in the centrifugal energy. That is, the pressure rise which is occurring in the impeller is due to two factors, that is, with respect to the relative velocity and also the change in the centrifugal energy. Therefore, the relative velocity vectors which is W1 and W2 and the change in centrifugal energy is responsible for the pressure rise which is taking place in the impeller. The static pressure rise across the diffuser and volute occurs simply due to the energy transformation process accompanied by the significant deceleration of the flow. That is, the static pressure which is happening in the diffuser and volute casing is only due to the energy transformation process which is occurring due to the decrease in the or deceleration of the flow which is taking place in the compressor. Therefore, this gives an overall idea about the static pressure rise which is taking place in the impeller, diffuser and volute. Okay, in the impeller the energy transfer is taking place with respect to the energy transformation process, and in the pressure rise which is taking place in the impeller is due to the relative velocity vector W1 and W2 and the change in the centrifugal energy, whereas static pressure rise which is taking place in the diffuser and volute is due to the deceleration of the flow which caused the energy transformation process. Okay, therefore, the static pressure rise in the centrifugal compressor occurs only in impeller, diffuser and the volute casing. Okay, the initial kinetic energy at the entry of the diffuser, that is, the initial kinetic energy is at the entry of the diffuser is supplied by the impeller. In the last class itself, when we are discussing about the elements of the centrifugal compressor, I have shown, and after the impeller there is a space which is called as the diffuser, and after diffuser the flow is being collected in the volute. Okay, therefore, the initial kinetic energy at the entry of the diffuser, therefore after impeller there will be a space, that space is called as diffuser, and at the entry of diffuser it is supplied by the impeller. Therefore, the initial kinetic energy is supplied by the impeller to the diffuser, and the pressure rise across the stage is first determined for an isentropic process, and the pressure rise at the stage is being determined by an isentropic process. Okay, that is, the initial kinetic energy is supplied by the impeller That is, to the diffuser, the initial kinetic energy is being supplied by the impeller, and the pressure rise which is occurring in the stage is determined by considering as an isentropic process. Okay, these are the conditions which we are keeping in order to find the stage pressure rise. For the small value of stage pressure rise, the flow can be assumed to be incompressible flow. That is, if you consider there is a small rise in pressure, that can be done by assuming the flow is considered to be as an incompressible flow. Okay, therefore you can get 1 by rho times delta P naught is equal to delta H naught, which will be equal to W, and this will be equal to U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. Okay, that is, this is the pressure ratio, and this is the change in enthalpy, static enthalpy. The change in static enthalpy is equal to the work done if we consider the initial and the final kinetic energy is negligible. Okay, if we consider the initial and the final kinetic energy is negligible, you can get the value of W is equal to change in the static enthalpy. Okay, that is, if the entry and exit velocity are small, or the difference between the entry and exit velocity is considered to be as negligible, then the work is the difference between the static enthalpy at the two state. If we consider it as two state, then if we consider the kinetic energy as negligible, then the value of work will be equal to the difference in the static enthalpy at two states. Therefore, this delta H naught will be equal to W, and we know that W is equal to U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. Okay, this is how this equation has been derived, and delta H naught is equal to 1 by rho times the delta P naught. Okay, now this equation can be written as, that is, the pressure rise is equal to rho times U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. Okay, you will be getting this equation, that is, the pressure rise is equal to rho into U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. That is, you are using this equation, and consider this equation as equation number 20. Okay, now from the equation 19b, okay, the equation 19b, that is, the pressure coefficient is equal to 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. Okay, this is equation number 19b, which we have just now derived. From this equation, if you substitute this equation as the pressure coefficient, you will be getting delta P naught is equal to rho times U2 square into the pressure coefficient. Okay, into the pressure coefficient, and you can consider this as an equation number 21. That is, you have replaced 1 minus phi 2 cot beta 2 as the pressure coefficient. Therefore, the pressure rise is given by an equation rho U2 square into the pressure coefficient. However, the pressure rise in the centrifugal compressor stage is high, and the change in the density of the fluid across the stage is considerable. Okay. However, the pressure rise in the centrifugal compressor stage is high, and the change in the density of the fluid across the stage is considerably small with respect to the pressure rise in the centrifugal compressor stage. Therefore, in most of the applications, the flow is not compressible. Therefore, in most of the application, the flow is not compressible. The pressure ratio for a compressible flow is obtained by the following method. Okay. Therefore, in most of the application, the flow is not considered to be as flow is not compressible. That is, it is incompressible flow, and the pressure ratio for a compressible following method. That is, the fluid is assumed to be as a perfect gas. Okay, in order to determine the pressure ratio for a compressible flow, we are considering the fluid is assumed to be as a perfect gas. Therefore, for a perfect gas, you can write the specific work is equal to delta H naught, which is equal to H02 of S minus H01. Okay, that is, this is the change in enthalpy. This S denotes it is for an isentropic process. This S denote it is for an isentropic process. That is, if it is defined along the isentropic compression process between the stagnation state 0, 1 and 0, 2. This is the stagnation state 1 and this is stagnation state 2. And if you consider it as an isentropic process, you will be getting H02S minus H01. That is, the process is taking from 1 to 2 and it is considered to be as an isentropic process. Therefore, W is equal to delta H0, which will be equal to H02S minus H01. This equation is taken from total to total efficiency, total to total efficiency for the compressor, fans and blowers, which we have discussed in our first unit itself. Okay, this equation W is equal to delta H0 is equal to H02S minus H01 is from the total to total efficiency, which we have discussed in our first unit. Okay, and we know that the change in enthalpy is equal to Cp times the temperature difference. Cp times the temperature difference. Therefore, this equation W is equal to delta H0 will be equal to Cp times T02S minus T01. Okay, W is equal to delta H0, which is equal to Cp times T02S minus T01. We have replaced the change in enthalpy in terms of Cp times the temperature difference. Okay, now on simplifying this equation, you will be getting W is equal to Cp. If you take T01 as common, you will be getting T02S divided by T01 minus 1. You will be getting this equation, and this equation can be rewritten as Cp times T01 into P02 of S divided by P01 to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by gamma, this is minus 1. Okay, this equation can be written in a form of, this is P02 times S, this is for isentropic process, divided by P01 to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by gamma, since for an isentropic process PV power gamma is equal to constant, and you can take T1 by T2 is equal to P1 by P2 to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by gamma. Okay, we have used this expression for writing this equation. Okay, now the work done or the specific work will be equal to Cp times T01 into PR0 to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by gamma minus 1. Okay, this is nothing but the pressure ratio P R naught to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by gamma. Okay, therefore consider this equation as equation number 22. Consider this as an equation number 22. Now from equation 15, and this equation is nothing but W is equal to U2 square into 1 minus flow efficient at the exit into cot beta 2. This is equation number 15, and we have the value of W is equal to U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. Now if you substitute the value of W as this, you will be getting Cp times T01 into PR naught to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by gamma minus 1 will be equal to U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. Okay, I have substituted the value of W in this equation, and you will be getting the equation as Cp times T01 into the pressure ratio to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by gamma minus 1, which will be equal to U2 square into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. Now if you rearrange this equation, you can get PR naught to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by gamma minus 1 will be equal to U2 square divided by Cp times T01 into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. Okay, we have taken Cp times T01 to the other side. You will be getting U2 square divided by Cp T01. Now if you move this minus 1 to the other side, you will be getting PR naught to the power of gamma minus 1 divided by gamma is equal to 1 plus U2 square divided by Cp times T01 into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2. You will be getting this equation. Now if you take this power to the other side, you will be getting PR naught is equal to 1 plus U2 square divided by Cp times T01 into 1 minus flow coefficient at the exit into cot beta 2 to the power of gamma divided by gamma minus 1. Gamma divided by gamma minus 1. This is equal to P02 divided by P01. That is the pressure ratio. PR0 is equal to P02 divided by P01. Since we have pressure coefficient as 1 minus flow coefficient times cot beta 2. This is from equation 19. This is equation 19b. We have pressure coefficient is equal to 1 minus flow coefficient times cot beta 2, and if you substitute this value in this equation, you will be getting the pressure ratio PR0 is equal to 1 plus pressure coefficient times U2 square divided by Cp times T01. Okay, and consider this equation as equation number 24, and this gives the stage pressure rise, and this equation gives the stage pressure rise for a centrifugal compressor. Okay, we are not into 1 plus pressure coefficient times U2 square divided by Cp times T naught 1, and this equation gives the stage pressure rise in the centrifugal compressor. Okay, you have any doubt in this? கணையில ஏதாவது டவுட் இருக்குங்களா ஸ்டேஜ் பிரஷர் ரைஸ்ல? ரோஹித், எஸ். ரோஹித், சூர்யா ஜி.
சரி சார்.
கணையில டவுட் இருக்குங்களா அதுல?
சார் இல்ல சார்.
புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா?
ஓகே சார், போலாம்.
யோகேஷ் கேகே
சார்.
கண்ணா புரிஞ்சுதுங்களா?
புரியுது.
ஏன் டவுட் இருக்குங்களா?
இல்ல சார்.
இல்லைங்களா? எப்படி W is equal to delta H naught னு எழுதுறோம்னு சொல்லுங்க. கண்ணா இது யாரோ எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண. W is equal to delta H naught வந்து எப்படி நம்ம எழுதுறோம்னு சொல்லுங்க. கண்ணா யார் வேணா சொல்லலாம். How you are writing W is equal to delta H naught? யாருக்கும் தெரியாதா? ஆனந்த கிருஷ்ணன், ஆனந்த கிருஷ்ணன், பாலமுருகன்
சார்.
கண்ணா சொல்லுங்க எப்படி W is equal to delta H naught அப்படின்னு எழுதுறோம்னு சொல்லுங்க.
சார் அது டோட்டல் எஃபிஷியன்சி ஈக்குவேஷன்.
அது ஓகேடா கண்ணா. அதுல இருந்து நம்ம H theta not 2s minus H not 1 தான் எடுத்திருக்கோம். ஓகேவா? அந்த del H naught நம்ம எழுதியிருக்கோம் தெரியுமா? W is equal to del H naught. அதே எப்படி வந்தது? பிரபுஜித் ஈஸ்வர், கண்ணா பிரபுஜித் எங்க இருக்கீங்க? இருக்கீங்களா? கண்ணா சொல்லுங்க எப்படி இந்த வேல்யூ ஆஃப் W is equal to delta H naught வந்தது?
சார் தெரியல சார்.
தெர்மோடைனமிக்ஸ்ல படிச்சிருப்பீங்களா அது? ஃபார் a compressible flow machine SFE ஈக்குவேஷன்ல இருந்து டெரிவேஷன் வரும் தெரியுங்களா? ஸோ அது யாருக்கு ஞாபகம் இல்லையா? அந்த ஈக்குவேஷன் நிறைய வாட்டி எழுதியிருக்கேன் கண்ணா. உங்களுக்கு தெரியுங்கிறதுனால தானே அது எழுதுறேன். W is equal to delta H naught அப்படிங்கிறது. இப்போ கேட்கணும்ல
சார்? அதெல்லாம் வேல்யூஸ் அதுல லாக் புக்ல பாக்குற, ஐ மீன் அந்த டேட்டா புக்ல பாக்குற மாதிரி தானே சார்? HF H2S அந்த இது தானே சார்?
கண்ணா இதெல்லாம் வந்து உனக்கு என்ன சொல்லுது, டயக்ராம்ல இருந்து வருது. ஓகேவா? இந்த டெல்டா H நாட்னு எழுதியிருக்கோம் தெரியுமா? அது வந்து கான்செப்ட் தான். இந்த கான்செப்ட்னால தான் இந்த ஈக்குவேஷனே உங்களுக்கு வந்து வருது. ஓகேங்களா? W is equal to delta H naught எப்படி வந்ததுதான் நான் கேட்குறேன். இந்த ஈக்குவேஷன் நான் நிறைய இடத்துல யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஓகேவா? இந்த 3 யூனிட்ல வந்து இந்த ஈக்குவேஷன் டெல்டா H நாட்ங்கிறது நிறைய இடத்துல நான் யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஆனால் யாருமே ஒரு வாட்டி கூட இந்த இடத்துல டெல்டா H நாட் ஏன் யூஸ் பண்ணுறேன்னு கேட்கவே இல்லையே. உங்களுக்கு தெரியலனா யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கல, நிறைய வாட்டி யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் தெரியுமா, W is equal to delta H naught அப்படின்ட்டு.
எஸ் சார்.
ஜென்ரலா ஒரு கம்ப்ரஸபிள் ஃப்ளோ மிஷின், ஓகேவா, SFE ஈக்குவேஷன்ல வந்து ஒரு கம்ப்ரஸபிள் ஃப்ளோ மிஷின் நீங்க எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்து அது வந்து அடியபேட்டிக் ப்ராசஸ்னு எடுத்துப்பாங்க. therefore for adiabatic process Q will be equal to 0. Adiabatic process னு எடுத்தீங்கன்னா Q will be equal to 0. டிஃபால்ட்டா அதுல பொட்டன்ஷியல் சேஞ்ச் இன் பொட்டன்ஷியல் எனர்ஜி நம்ம வந்து நெக்லிஜிபிள் தான் கன்சிடர் பண்ணிருப்போம். ஓகேவா, சேஞ்ச் இன் பொட்டன்ஷியல் எனர்ஜியும் வந்து நெக்லிஜிபிள் தான் நம்ம வந்து கன்சிடர் பண்ணிருப்போம். அப்போ உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஈக்குவேஷன் வந்து எப்படி ஃப்ரேம் ஆகும்னா H1 plus C1 square divided by 2 equal to H2 plus C2 square divided by 2 plus WS. இப்படி ஈக்குவேஷன் வரும் இந்த ஷாஃப்ட் ஒர்க். ஓகேவா, அதாவது this enthalpy and kinetic energy வந்து நம்ம இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு கன்சிடர் பண்ணியிருப்போம். ஓகேங்களா, whereas in some cases this kinetic energy, ஓகேவா, இந்த kinetic energy இருக்குங்களா, இந்த kinetic energyமே வந்து negligible நம்ம கன்சிடர் பண்ணியிருப்போம். ஓகேவா, அப்ப இந்த kinetic energyமே வந்து நம்ம negligible கன்சிடர் பண்ணியிருப்போம். அதனால work will be is equal to the difference in enthalpy அப்படின்னு வரும். ஓகேவா, இந்த ஈக்குவேஷனை தான் வந்து நம்ம நிறைய இடத்துல யூஸ் பண்ணியிருப்போம். ஓகேவா, இது வந்து steady flow energy equation மூலமா வரும். for every compressible flow machine shaft work will be equal to the difference in enthalpy. ஓகேங்களா, அப்படிதான் இந்த ஈக்குவேஷனையே நான் எழுதுறேன் எல்லா வாட்டியும். ஓகேங்களா, உங்களுக்கு நான் இந்த ஈக்குவேஷன் தெரியும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சுதான் நான் இவ்வளவு நாள் எழுதிட்டு இருக்கேன். நீங்க உங்களுக்கு யாருக்குமே இந்த ஈக்குவேஷன் வந்து தெரியல. இப்போ புரிஞ்சுதா?
எஸ் சார்.
எஸ் சார்.
சரி, ஓகே, நம்ம இன்னைக்கு செஷன் இதோட க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஓகேங்களா, நாளைக்கு வந்து